Good morning. Good morning. Kalimera, marhaba. How is everyone? Happy Frenchie Friday. Happy Frenchie Friday. I think it is already 98 degrees in Turkey. Indian summer, as they say. Middle of September, 98 degrees. Water is 85 degrees. What beauty is in the world. If you are brand new joining us for Frenchie Friday for the first time, please say hello and let me know that you're here. If you've been with me many, many, many times, welcome back. Karen, bonjour, buongiorno. Happy Frenchie Friday. Allison, bonjour, y'all. Stella, bonjour, y'all. I love it. Elaine, good morning. Nikki, Bettina, Stephanie, Bella, Lily. Oh, gorgeous ladies in the house. Who else is here? In la maison. Elegant Femme, la maison, haute couture spirituality, where we talk about all things embodiment, visibility, power, authentic power, sensuality, and what it really means as a woman to live fully. Is that what we're here for? Yes, yes, yes. Is that what we're here for? Is that what you're here for? We get a holy yes, a hell yes, a wee wee, a commitment today to live fully. Okay, we're going to talk about this. Coffee. My husband is on the phone somewhere with our oldest. Hell yes, with our oldest, who is 22 years old, and he plays poker. He's in college. He plays college soccer, and he plays poker, really as like a profession. Really, he's like a mini professional poker player. Logs his hours. Like, really abundant, like really high risk. Really understands financial things. So they're having a conversation post poker about odds and hands and all of this kind of thing. And we've also been having another conversation inside of the Marino household. And I really thought today, it came up last night for me. And I thought, I wonder, God, do I bring this into Live You Fully? Because this is such a big component about Live You Fully. And I, just like every time I show up here, I don't have any kind of agenda. I don't have any kind of script. My intention always is to show up to the best of my ability with Spirit's assistance and bring forward whatever it is that will be the most supportive, valuable, connected for all of us, for me, for you, for the entire conversation around whether it's ACIM, Chic 365, or here inside of Living Fully with Frenchie Friday, or anywhere that you find Elegant Femme. It's the intention to support us in remembering who we are, right? To integrate the spiritual and the physical and to live that way, not just to talk about the concept, not just to talk about the idea, not just to play in the platitude, but to live into the embodiment of what it is we desire, knowing that our desires are the impetus to our spiritual evolution. Yes, 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 yes. And inside of Elegant Femme, from the very beginning, it has been about and will continue to be about the way with which we do that, the indie, the Frenchie, and the New Yorker, right? Coming together. Since most women don't recognize, we know, actually, let's say it this way, we know that we are more than one thing. Yes, you know this. This is why the femme types, the indie, the Frenchie, and the New Yorker, when women hear them, it's a matter of seconds. It's a matter of seconds before they're like, oh, I see. I see my Frenchie. I see, oh, what's happening with my New Yorker? Oh, my indie. Like there's an immediate connection with, that's right. I remember I am more than one thing. Now, ultimately, we're all just love. We're all love. We're all souls having a human experience, right? That's an ultimate underneath everything. However, in the embodiment of living that into the physical world, through the lens of Elegant Femme, we look at the integration of the indie, the Frenchie, and the New Yorker, and how we can align with all these different facets so we move forward in the world with the awareness of our wholeness, not cutting a piece of us off, which most women do. They live in only one facet. They hide from the rest. Why? Why? Because it feels too powerful and or too easy. which is crazy. But we do that, right? We all on board with this so far? Even if you're brand new to Elegant Femme, do you hear what I'm saying? Do you feel what I'm saying? Is this resonating somewhere inside of you? We have a neighbor who's been working on the teak on his boat for the past 2 days. So we're gonna just incorporate this loving sound of this beautiful Turkish man loving on his vessel. Okay. Is there anyone here who is hearing about the femme types for the first time? Probably not, but just a little check-in. Okay. Let me know if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm brand new, I'm hearing this for the first time, or if you're like, yeah, I got it. Even in the replay, okay? Because I want to see where we are. So inside of that conversation of living fully, we can look at it from a very surface level. And when I say surface level, I don't mean that in a bad way. We can look at it from that initial, let's call it initial, right? Initial level. And then we start to take it deeper, like, okay, that makes sense, but then how? How do I actually live fully? Which is a really natural question to ask. And inside of Elegant Femme, we switch the how to the why, and we weave through what's actually going on underneath the surface so that we can open up and live this way. One of the big reasons that stops us from living fully is fear. Fear that we are going to have to sacrifice something. Fear that we are going to lose something that we love. Fear that we are going to be rejected. Fear in visibility. And so we hide aspects of ourselves. We hide facets of ourselves. And we operate in what we feel is safer. What happens when we do that? We start to lose a pulse with creation. We start to lose a pulse with our authentic expression. And it's not that we really lose it, but we hide it, right? We've hidden it. So I said to you that we've been having a conversation inside of the Marino household for the past couple of days. And I want to bring a bit of it forward here, not because I need to talk to you about what we're talking about, but because I feel like there is a seam line that, and I'm really asking for Spirit's assistance here because I don't have this completely fleshed out. All I have is this feeling, this calling, this opening inside of my heart to speak about something that I would say I would never, up until this point, I have not spoken about. Not in this way. So yesterday, I was sitting on the front of the boat at the end of my day. I finished our tone of call, and these calls get like better and better and deeper. These women are absolutely extraordinary. We're just starting month 6 of our 9-month journey together. And I had gotten off of that call and I was sitting in the front of the boat looking at the sunset, and I opened up Instagram or Facebook, can't remember which one. And you know how sometimes videos come up? I don't often watch them. I have my own agenda, like what's going on over here. Like I have my own idea. I don't just usually sit there but a video came up. And I heard this gentleman say, women want to be taken care of. And I stopped, right? Because this is a huge message that I've been speaking about since the beginning and more boldly inside of the Soul of Beauty. So this gentleman says women want to be taken care of. They want to be provided for. And he goes on, he's on some sort of podcast, and he goes on to speaking about, financially, men being the provider. And this is like really juicy for me, right? Like I love this conversation. So I immediately forward it to my 2 boys because these are the conversations we have. We have conversations at this point, and they're 22 and 19. And what is it, the masculine and the feminine, and how do we show up, and right, all of these kind of things. You still with me? Just give me a little heart or something. Let me know you can still hear me because the internet bandwidth has been a little. So I want to make sure before I go into my whole thing that we're good, that you can hear me. And Dave is trolling around the boat somewhere talking to Dom. Okay, we got it. That's great. Just keep those comments so I know you can still hear me. If it starts spinning or something, please let me know. Okay. So I forward this to my boys, right? And then I'm like, God, who is this guy? They're just like, who is this guy? Like this guy, like I like this guy. He's speaking wisdom, and I wonder what else he says. So I go to follow this guy and see what else he's up to, and my heart stopped. So the gentleman that was talking about this was Charlie Kirk. Now, I want to preface this because before a few days ago, I didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was. And as I share this conversation with you, this is not about anything political at all. And it's not even about speaking to a specific situation, but it is about utilizing a situation to share a deeper context of living fully. Okay? So, I was breathless when I saw that that's who it was because again, I hadn't heard about him previously to a few days ago. So if you don't know, just to give you the content, not to go into it, but to give you the content, Charlie Kirk was a man. And again, I didn't know about him till a few days ago. Okay. But my boys knew about him and my husband knew about him. So he was a man that was speaking on college campuses from the time he was, I think, 17 or 18 years old. And he was speaking his opinion, his views. He was speaking about God and religion and being conservative. And again, the content of what he was speaking about, to an extent, neither here or there. Okay, because I'm not speaking about that. I'm just sharing with you. He was authentic in his voice. He was authentic in his voicing of what living fully meant to him and having an impact in the world. Yes? Does everyone know who I'm talking about? So he was shot and killed from stage when he was speaking on a college campus just a few days ago. And again, I didn't know who he was up until that point, but my boys did and my husband did. And they were very affected by this. All three of them. Very affected by this, like very affected. We've been having really big conversations around what it means to be visible, what it means to share your authentic truth, how could someone do that? And it was really powerful to watch the ways with which each of my boys and then my husband watched the ways with which they were affected by this, like emotionally affected, deeply, deeply affected. And watching some of the conversation, like how could someone do that? And his wife and his kids were there and they saw, and just because someone has a different opinion, how could someone do that? And really intense emotions coming forward. And the reason why I'm bringing it here is because this is, to me, such an extraordinary opportunity to choose to live fully inside of yourself no matter what. And it's also, when these things happen inside of the physical world, it's also super tempting and kind of understandable inside the human dynamic to say, well, whoa, I am not going to live fully. Because it's scary, because I put myself at risk. Because what if someone doesn't agree with me? And look, life doesn't come with any guarantees. We know this, right? And inside of Elegant Femme, when we speak about the faux types, we speak that there's an element of truth to everything, right? We will always, always, always find what we are looking for. Always, always, always. And if we're looking for reasons not to live fully, if we're looking for reasons to be afraid, we will find them. We will find them. We will find them. And as I said, there are no guarantees in life. None of us know what's going to happen. And yet, I'm having emotion as I'm sharing this with you, because the alternative to this is why we live fully. This is what I mean by this. Again, I don't know this man. I didn't know about him till a few days ago. But witnessing the impact that he has had on people. Now, some people are, everybody gets to respond in a way that, whatever, however they want to respond. And however people choose to respond, as we spoke about yesterday, is bringing up something inside of them for healing. Always, always across the board. Whether people look at something and they see the energy of an eye for an eye and a punishment, whether they see an opportunity for deeper healing, whether a fear comes up inside of them, like, oh my gosh, I can't be that visible because, whether, oh my gosh, it's not safe to be authentic because, or, oh my gosh, and again, I didn't know this man. Based on what I've seen and heard in the short amount of time that I witnessed and spoke with people about this man chose to live his authentic truth. Whether somebody agrees with it or not, I couldn't care less, right? It's not about that. What he was saying. He chose to live his truth. And I imagine that he and every other soul that has chosen to live their authentic truth would choose that again and again and again and again and again. Even if what happened happened. All right, this is a big conversation. So I want to hear from you what's coming up inside of you as you hear this. I really want to see, because again, living fully isn't just about me speaking here at you. This is about us having a conversation about what it really means to live fully. And I understand that it's Frenchie Friday and it might be like, ooh, this is like can feel a bit heavy. And it can feel a bit heavy. And that's not something to avoid either. This is like the real conversation for what does it actually mean to go out there and live on the stage of your life fully? What does that actually look like for you? And can you trust yourself in the depths of who you are to speak from that level of authenticity, no matter what, whether people are going to like it or not like it? Because in the end, it's like they're really, we don't ever want to live or even, it's not even true that there's regret, right? But I guess we could say that we know the part of us inside that hides, right? That hides from, oh, I don't want to say that because I don't know if I'll be liked. I don't want to say that because I don't know if I'll be understood. I don't want to say that because people might not think I love them if I say it this way. And there's a difference between going out there and looking to create upset, I feel, right? Or to just say something just to rile someone, versus showing up in your authentic truth and speaking from the depth of who you are because it's something real inside of you. And not doing that to me is one of the most painful things. When we hide the truth of who we are from ourselves. That's where it starts, right? Right? Of course they would choose to live fully again. What else is life for? Somehow I always feel like being careful with who I share my full truth with. I'm sure not fully outspoken in all situations. And I'm not saying you have to share all of your truth with every single person you come in contact with. I am not saying that. What I am saying is to notice and witness inside why you hold back. What parts of you are you hiding, even from yourself, that you're tiptoeing around, that you're afraid of, you're on thin ice. Right? All of us have lived through this. And again, there is a big difference between being a bull in a china shop and just come hell or high water. I'm going to say what I got to say. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that to live fully is to live in authenticity with who you are, to not hide the aspects of who you are, to not hide your own power, to not hide or dim your own truth and your own light for fear of. Okay, and there's a nuance inside of this, right? It isn't, oh my gosh, Tara is saying I have to speak my full truth to every single person I come across. No, I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm not saying that. I want to take a breath. I want to breathe into the frequency here. I'm going to take a sip of water and I'm going to invite you to just relax your shoulders back and down and open up your heart space as we're talking. Maybe you want to bring them up, back, down, and just feel that openness in your heart space. Feel that visibility right here between you and you, right? Let's see if we can position ourselves physically inside of that for a moment. You feel that opening in your heart space, that willingness to allow yourself to be seen. Allow yourself to be seen. Not because you have something to prove, but because you desire inside of yourself to witness yourself. You desire that level of visibility between you and you to witness yourself in this way. Yeah? That's living fully. I desire to witness the fullness of who I am in my power and in my authenticity. And this is why a situation, a person, a soul, an energy like Charlie Kirk can be so moving to so many people. He chose to live boldly inside of himself. And again, whether you agree with what he said or not, to me is not what's of importance. It's looking at the power of someone choosing to live full out and also looking at the fear that comes forward when we choose that. And the emotion that comes forward inside of us when there's a situation in the external world that creates a feeling of upset, no matter what it is in the outside world. And for us to be able to look inside at that upset and say, what is this really about, right? This is what I've been doing with my boys and with Dave. Where is this coming from? What is this outpouring of emotion? What is this bringing up inside of you? There's a tenderness, there's a sadness, there's a realization of how short life is. There's a potency and a boldness, and there's a witnessing of seeing people that are in fear and that they feel that the way with which to calm their fear is to take another life. Whoa, what does that bring up inside? And wow, he was bold and he was speaking his truth and he lost his life. How can I speak my truth when I have a fear of that? What if people don't like me? What if they misunderstand? Like, these are the conversations that support us in living fully. These are the conversations that allow us to bring to the surface pieces inside that we have been hiding, that we have allowed to be not visible to ourselves. So you might have found, some of you might have found the Let Yourself Be Skinny video from, I think it's going to be 13 years. Actually, it's probably 13 years now. 13 years, I think, this month. That has like, I think over now or close to, I don't know, like 1 million views on YouTube. The Let Yourself Be series, we started to then let yourself be, right? Healthy. Let yourself be beautiful. Let yourself be rich. Let yourself be loved. Let yourself be feminine, right? We started this conversation and somebody actually said to me, can you do a let yourself be visible? Because I feel like so many of us have that fear of visibility. And I think this is a beautiful conversation. And one we had a little bit yesterday inside of our Chateau Neuf at a very high level as well, because what does visibility mean? When you're living fully, and you know this inside because you can feel the reflection in your body, you're visible with creation energy. It's not about how can I be visible to the rest of the world. It's how can I be visible to myself with the truth of who I am? How can I live into the fullness of me in my creative life pulse, in my creative source? How can I beat with the heartbeat of life? This is living fully. Yes? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you feel this inside of yourself? You know the points in your life where you've been living fully, where you literally feel like you are beating with the pulse of life, the pulse of creation, where all of your senses are engaged, where you're like, right, you're living on the edge. And at the edge of creation, you're saying more, please. Not because you need to consume, not because you need to covet, not because it's about stacking material goods. There's this natural evolutionary pulse that says more. Yes, 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 yes. This is living fully. This is the energy. This is the frequency. I am living on the edge of creation. I am allowing myself to witness the fullness of who I am. I am feeling the pulse of life moving through me, and I'm saying, open, receiving, engaged, and awake. More, please. More, please. More, please. Yes, this is living fully. This is living fully. Yes? Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what is this bringing up inside of you? Do you feel this? Is this rippling through you? Is this conversation supporting you? When you consider this, when you consider living on the edge of creation, not just from an idea, like, oh yeah, that sounds good, but when you for yourself consider yourself on the edge of creation, you're there on the edge of creation, open, heart open, authentic, speaking your truth, vulnerable, visible, pulsing with creation, what happens? What happens inside of you? What fears come up? What parts of your ego or your mind say, I can't, that's not available to me? What parts of you hide, oh, I can, but just not this much? I'm willing to, but not that big. I could, as long as. Those are the pieces of you that are requiring integration at the next level. Because it's great. We could all say, yes, 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 yes. I want to live fully, and I want to live fully, and I want to live fully. And then it comes to the actual embodiment of living fully, which can be scary. It can feel scary because of everything we've talked about. But what is it that it brings up uniquely inside of you? I want you to imagine you are on the edge of creation. Life is pulsing through you. You are saying yes to more. What are you saying yes to? The next level of abundance, the next level of co-creation. Are you saying yes to your drop it in the chat? What is that more, please, for you? And then what happens inside when you consider, yes, 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 yes. Not am I just going to say yes in my mind, as in like, I mean, really, that's the only place you need to say yes because everything starts to happen. But just as an intangible, I'm not just saying yes. I'm saying yes with the fullness of who I am. I will. I will, I am. I will, I am. I am living fully. I am committed to this no matter what. No matter what. Not no matter what, because I'm going to push and I'm going to force and I'm going to squeeze and come hell or high water. I'm going to make it happen and I'm going to, no matter what. Because I am powerful. I am authentic. I am sovereign. I am true. I am devoted. I am a full yes to living fully, no matter what. I will live into the fullness of who I am called to be, to experience, to enjoy, to allow, because what else is there? And we feel the commitment inside of ourselves. So there was a moment, and maybe you've heard me share this before, we had sold everything. I had even sold my wedding ring. And we moved to California, and we were living in a little 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment with our boys. Our boys were very young, 4 and 2 at the time. And that apartment was, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 2 little boys, south of Montana. We were living on Idaho Street Avenue inside of Santa Monica. I would walk out the door and I'd walk to Burke Williams, which was a spa, like, I don't know, a couple miles away or something, mile or something away, maybe half an hour walk or so. And I would dream, and I would go into the Burke Williams spa and I would sit there and I would imagine that that was my living room, and I would vision and I would feel myself on the precipice of living fully. And this is where I was coaching women one-on-one, and I started to dream about living in France. Continued to dream about living in France, but I started to create really big femme visions for my life. And I could feel this difference where part of me in the past had been kind of along the wall of living fully, kind of looking out, living fully. Yeah, that would be nice. And that would be nice. And that would be nice. But I hadn't fully embodied and embraced and was standing in the visibility of myself in that way, because there is a difference. And you know inside of yourself that there's a difference. And if you can be transparent with yourself right now, you can feel the difference inside of you. The part of you that's been hanging about on the outside exterior saying, oh, yes, of course, I totally get it. I would love to, and I'd love that, and I'd love that, but you're not engaged in it. You haven't made the full commitment that requires a visibility between you and you, that requires that level of devotion and the commitment that will stretch you to your edge. And so I had been doing that. I was kind of hanging out a bit. Not in every aspect, and it might be the same with you, right? There might be parts of your life where no, you've really committed, but other parts where you're like, I'm not ready yet. Got to make more money. I need a little bit more time. I need a little bit more wisdom. Right? And you can feel that you're holding yourself back. So one of these mornings, I walked out on the sidewalk. I can literally feel it in my body, and I know what I was wearing. I was wearing white jeans. I was wearing my Terra Paris long gray travel companion. I have my To-Me bag, which I still have, that had my computer in it. And I stood on the side of the sidewalk, and I could feel that I was being called to more abundance. I could feel it with every piece of me, right? When we used to take the, not Eckhart Tolle, when the Millionaire Mind, who is that guy? I can't remember his name. So we took a couple of those conferences, and every time it'd say, say I have a millionaire mind, I would look at Dave and be like, I have a billionaire mind. Like, always this coursing through me. But I could tell that I was holding myself back from that next level of abundance. Why? Because of fear. Because of what is that going to require from me? Because is it a lot of work? Because how do I sustain it? Because of all the bullshit that we tell ourselves of why we can't do something yet. And I stood on that sidewalk, and I felt the energy come up through the bottom of my feet. And I stood there, and I could feel the potency of it move all the way up through my body. I could feel it connect with my power of sensuality, could feel it connect with my solar plexus inside my Frenchie. I could feel it move up to my heart. And then I felt a choice. I felt this choice to kind of like run, like, oh, we're good. Well, that's good. We're good. We did. Have you felt that before? You get like close to that next level of frequency, and you're like, you pull yourself out prematurely, and you know it, but you talk yourself into, oh, I did it. That was good. That was good. That's enough for today. I could feel that temptation, and I could feel it circling here. And I remember putting my head back and putting my arms down and saying yes. And saying yes to such an extent inside of me that I knew things were changing. And I also was very aware that I didn't know exactly what this was going to require from me. And that was the yes. The yes didn't come with an asterisk of small print that I'm a yes as long as I always feel safe, as long as everyone understands me, as long as I don't feel threatened, as long as everyone loves me, as long as everyone likes me, as long as it's not going to make me uncomfortable, as long as it's not going to make others uncomfortable. There's no asterisk. There is no small print when you live this way. You're not just saying yes to the thing you want. You are saying yes to living in the full existence of who you are, no matter what. Not as long as I don't lose someone I love. Not as long as my life is always safe in the way that I am. As long as I don't experience pain or hurt again. No. I am a yes to the divine unknowing. I am a yes to living into the fullness of who I am, no matter what. This is the difference. And this is what Charlie Kirk did, in my opinion. In my opinion. In my opinion. So how is this healing inside of your body? What is this bringing up inside of you? And where's your yes? Where is your yes for you? Where is it? Where are you inside of yourself around your next level of living fully? Because this is the other thing. You do not just say that yes once. As you're living into the more please, it's almost like the edge grows with you. And then you're on the next edge. This is what's so fascinating to me. In my own personal journey of this and working with women at very high levels, I will have women who have been in high level containers with me, said yes to working with me at $20,000 investment, $60,000 investment, $100,000 investment. And then it's like the next yes comes, and I'm using money purposefully because that's for us many times our edge, right? Inside of the physical world. It's not the only edge, but it is the edge with which we tend to see through, and all of our other shit is brought up with the money edge. And the next edge will come and they will say, I can't even believe I've already said yes so many times in such big ways. Why does this one feel as big, if not bigger than all the rest? That's when you know you're on your next edge. And it's not about, okay, how do I make myself uncomfortable? Okay, it's not about that. But we do know when we are living on the edge of creation and we are living fully into the truth of who we are feeling on our edge. We are feeling that pulse of creation moving through us. You feel alive. You feel alive. And you know the difference between feeling alive and feeling comfortable and hiding aspects of yourself. because it feels safe. So this is what we're bringing forward up today inside of Living Fully, Frenchie Friday with Tara Marino. Tell me what it is you are taking with you from this conversation today before we close. Yes to the unknown resonates deeply. I feel I have many yeses to say. Which first, or can they come simultaneously? I feel like they can come simultaneously because, again, underneath it's one. The one yes is the same. The one yes, which is I am going to live into the fullness of who I am. And you feel that yes. You feel that pulse of life. So I believe they do come simultaneously inside of that. And you know, right? You know which yes is called hiding from, you've been running from, you've been talking yourself out of, you know. Okay, our connection is unstable. We'll go ahead and close the chat at this particular point. Thank you so much for being here. Please leave your comments. Let me know how this is serving you, what it is that came up inside of you, living fully. I'm feeling alive. I feel like I get so close. I'm right at the edge and I haven't got to the other side. That's the leap. That's the leap. If you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so close, I'm so close, I'm so close, there's a waiting in your formula. You are waiting. You are waiting for a guarantee of some sort. What is that? You are the only one that can leap. So if you're feeling, oh my gosh, I'm just so close, I'm so close, there's a part of you that's feeling like it needs a guarantee from someone, from something, from some sort of external something outside of you that says, okay, it's okay for you to go now. You are the only one that can leap. You are the only one who can say that yes. You are the only one. So with that, let's go ahead and close. If you're joining us for the replay, please let me know, what did you receive from this? What are you taking from this? And I would love to close with this together. Just one word. What are you taking from our time together today? What have you remembered about yourself? What are you taking? Like, what is it? What is that? That, oh my gosh, whew, today, this. And if you've enjoyed this conversation and you do want to take it deeper inside of Elegant Femme, we have so many ways with which you can do that. We have the Edge series, which is a free meditation series, which will move you into the part of this conversation. We have the Soul of Beauty audiobook. I wrote a book. Last night, I had Dave listen to a couple of chapters specifically around visibility. We talk about this. We go there. We unravel this, no holds barred, inside of the Soul of Beauty. This is 49 chapters of a living transmission poured over the seas of Greece. My voice, I edited every single chapter. It's an $111 audiobook, $111 investment in your full transformation, where you are not working on yourself. You are receiving a transmission. So if you haven't joined us inside of the Soul of Beauty, you might want to start there. And we have something new coming. So if you're resonating with this conversation, you're feeling like visibility is a big point of entry for you, I want you to stay tuned. Something is coming. I'm just going to tell you that. Stay open. Something's coming. It's going to surprise you. I know it will. I know it will. All right. Thank you, Jaika. Put the Edge in there. Actually, Jaika, I think the Edge series is a different link. So if you can remove that one, that's the actual show it link. So that won't probably work. So if you can remove that, I believe it's elegantfemme.com/edge, but it might not be. So Jaika, if you can remove that one. Here, let me see. Here, I'll remove that one because that one's not going to be correct. So if you have the correct link for the Edge, that would be perfect. But that is the correct link for the Soul of Beauty, and you can join us there. All right. You are so welcome. You are so, so welcome. I'm sending you all so much love. I will be back here on Monday for Elegant Femme's Guide to A Course in Miracles, Chic 365. If you have enjoyed this, like this. Click the subscribe button. Click the notification button if you want to know when we go live inside of this space. I will be here every Friday, most Fridays. Most Fridays. All right? Most Fridays. All right? Beautiful. Mwah. Have a gorgeous weekend. Time to live fully.